effort to continue to work our way back into the pile, we finished the first 2 pieces in here. We have this gorgeous dresser that was given to us by a friend when she ran out of business. It's just amazing. And so
are we leaving the mirror on it?
I want to leave the mirror on, which I don't always do. And I don't want to paint it. Are you shocked? We're not painting it.
We'll see. It does need some repair. I gotta like dive in and move all this stuff off and see what actually needs to happen to it. Because it's been 7-8 months since I've looked at it.
And so. I think she had it buried at her shop. We're gonna unbury it. I also have an entire box of hardware that I'm gonna sell in the shop. So we'll go through that together and you guys can just watch us get things into the shop.
All right, so this is one of the shelves that go on the back of that big mirror, and it's broken right here where the screws are. I'm just gonna put some wood glue on that. I might run a couple nails in there just to sturdy it up, but we're gonna get that going first so that can start drying. And then we have quite a bit of sanding to do on that because we found some repairs that have been done by someone before us. So someone has come in and repaired this with some wood putty and some filler and things. There's a big split back here. This is a crack here. I don't know what that is or if it's even from someone else or from me. Big split here. So we are going to have to do some work. We still want to try to keep it from being painted. There's a screw poking out here. Gonna have to figure that out. And then there's a big repair here that's been split and wood puttied, and someone tried to stain it. This is big goopy, might not even be wood putty, it might just be like spackle. But I'm gonna do some sanding. We're gonna try to just sand the top and then maybe restain that if we can. Even with the splits, it might be pretty cool. And same on this side. And fix this screw. There's probably a couple other things I'll find as I'm going through it, but hopefully we're trying to honestly avoid painting it because it is a really cool antique piece, but we might still have to paint it because there's so many imperfections. All right, we got this sanded up with 80 grit sandpaper. Now I'm gonna I don't know what kind of putty or wood glue they used on this, but some places it's a little loose and it's shrunk. I've just got some Type On 2 wood glue, and this doesn't take the stain super great, but when you mix it with some sawdust, it works as a nice wood putty, and it will take some stain. We're probably gonna darken decrepit the top. I just wanna keep what's in here because it's gonna be too much for me to dig out. But I also don't want it cracking out the stuff that's left behind. So I'm just gonna put this on here, and then I'm gonna sand over the top, and this is gonna pick up the dust. And then once that's all done, I'll come and finish it with some 220 grit sandpaper, and that'll get any sanding squiggles out, make it nice and smooth. And then it'll also add to some of this glue too, and it'll take a little bit of that stain when I add the glue in, or when I add the sawdust into the glue.
Sweet Pickens oil wax in dark. I'm going to pour it on here and rub it in. This will seal it as well as kind of stain the wood a little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of it?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully it matches. I'm just trying to make it look decent. And it will dry hard, so if I decide to paint this later, I can paint over it once it's cured. it's gonna work.
It's looking good.
So what we've decided to do is we're gonna be using this tiered tray. We're gonna make them each $2.95, and people can come pick out what they want. Not all of the hardware will fit in here, but we can restock it as it sells down. People love to come in the shop and go through things and look for little items for their projects. So I think this is gonna be really fun. And it'll take me a while to get through all of these. Some of these are so bad, like these brass ones. I'm gonna take them home and soak them and see if I can polish them up. So if you give a mouse a cookie, Zeb saw some bubbling veneer and he's like, I'm just gonna take a little bit off. Now it's a situation, but.
It was so bad. It was like, I could flake it off with my fingernail. I had to break it free. And of course, there's always some that's stuck on so well, you can't get it off with anything.
Well, we're honestly, like, this piece, we wanted to leave it natural wood. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can still see that it's got cracks, but it's old. It's like from the 1850s, and to do a full restoration would be thousands of dollars. So we're just gonna make it look as good as it possibly can, and instead of selling it for $5,000, we'll sell it for like $600 locally, because shipping that mirror would be a situation. Zeb, you did good work. You got it mostly smooth. We'll put some oil wax on it, and it'll match this, and it'll look good. Yeah, the dark oil wax worked good.
We'll see how dark this gets. The wood underneath the veneer, and it was a really thick veneer, is cheap and not as dark. It's probably some sort of pine.
Yeah,
maybe a poplar.
I'll let it dry and then I'll come back and do another coat. You're right, I might have to do dark and decrepit on it. So Zeb's just tightening everything. We're cleaning everything out, wiping it down with oil wax. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of shade because we didn't do a full restore. But to be honest, I kind of like things a little bit imperfect. And I feel like this has a story to tell and it'll live on. And again, if nobody buys it unpainted in a year, in 2024, it'll get painted up. This is not the same wood as the other, and it's just not getting dark enough. So I'm gonna try dark and decrepit. See if it blends a little better. Might have to do a few coats. Yeah, I think that's better. It was kind of yellowy.
Yep, maybe a couple coats on there and it'll be done. Trying to match this side here. Getting closer.
I feel like I could probably keep fussing over and over this piece, but I am happy with it. We're gonna sell it as is in the shop and let somebody enjoy it with the natural wood. They can restore it if they want, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with it and so much better in here than stuck in the barn. Another project I finished today was going through all the old hardware. I'm gonna sell it for $1.95 each in the shop. People can go through it, and I think they're gonna find some real treasures and gems in here.
So I feel like we could nitpick this piece for a long time and just continue going over it, improving it. It's very old, it's got a lot of things it needs, but much improved over the dusty, dirty, peely, chippy veneer that we had in the barn.
We've got it cleaned up. We put a little bit of a finish on it to make it look a little nicer, and we'll sell it at a good price, and it's gonna go home to somebody that's happy about it. And if it doesn't, then next year we're gonna paint it, so it's fine.
Yeah, for what it is, we're still selling it at a project price, so.
If you like these kinds of videos where we show you what we do in the shop, comment below and let us know. If you need any oil wax or dark and decrepit for your projects or any paint, visit JamieRayVintage.com. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.